Hey guys, it's Rob, and I just watched another episode of Arrow, and for some reason I feel like I have to fiddle with one of my arrows, when I'm watching Arrow, because it's just whew. So, this episode, there was this girl, she was partying at Oliver's club, and it turned out she was taking the drug made by the vertigo, and so she was partying, and she got hit by a car, and so Oliver had gone after the Count in a previous episode. So the Count was in the mental hospital. So the fact that Vertigo was back was kind of he was like, what the heck is going on? So he went and he visited the Count in the mental hospital. He didn't go get a visitor's pass. He showed up. He did his thing. He got in there somehow. And the guy was insane. So because of the fact that the girl was at the club before she got, hit by a car, that made Laurel's father and a couple other officers think that she got the drug there at the club. Now that's bad because the club is the front for the head of the Arrow operation. It's where the Green Arrow has his base under the floor in the basement or whatever. So Laurel's dad and a bunch of cops go to the club to search the place, and they end up getting a search warrant. So then there's this dramatic scene where they're like, oh, we need to go down in the basement. There's a basement. I pulled the records, and there's this tense moment. And they end up going down into the basement, and all the stuff is gone. All the arrows and all the equipment is gone, and there's just a bunch of boxes and stuff down there. So that's what happens. That's what's happening in the modern, in the present day. Well, then they also had a flashback to a whole bunch of stuff that happened back on the island that Oliver was trapped on with the weird militant guys, and then the guy with the yellow and black face mask. And then his mentor guy and his daughter, who is actually pretty cute, and they did a whole thing about training, and he's slapping a bowl of water, and then to learn how to pull the drawstring back without breaking it, and stuff like that. I like that because it's kind of am I still learning the whole backstory of how he even learned how to fire bow and arrow. Because I assumed that he learned how to shoot a bow and arrow just so that way he could hunt on the island, but it turns out there was a lot more to it, and the story is so complex with what's going on you know, in the present time, and then what was going on in, you know, back on the island. And I like how they how they put a little bit of each of those storylines in pretty much every episode. But it does kind of make it hard to explain it. I've been leaving out most of the stuff that goes on the island, because it's just like it makes the whole thing more complicated to talk about. But this whole episode was good all the way around, and like the now and the then played well together, so I'm talking about it. Usually I just pick little itty bitty things from each episode to talk about, but this whole episode was pretty good. Anyways, I hope this was a better video than the other ones I shot. I put my shirt on and I used the forward facing camera, which will make the video take longer to upload, but there you go. Thank you.